Hi everyone, hope you're well. Looking after yourselves, looking after everybody else. Well, we've been through all this before, haven't we? This is our latest little very low tech, but very hopefully entertaining, good fun little city quiz. This is the latest one of a number I'm putting out there. Hope you're doing well, leaving your scores and beating mine, because mine are pretty useless, and mine's a dreadful one today, because I think I've said to you that I can remember things from the 60s and the 70s and even the 80s, but when it gets to nearer the date, so when I'm looking at this, for instance, when I'm looking at obviously Etihad things, this wonderful book that we got from season 2015-16. So obviously, if you've read this, you may have forgotten some of the stuff in this by now. But if you've been watching these quizzes, you know I've been doing these books. You may have swatted up on it. You may have cheated a little bit anyway. But yeah, so when it comes to 2003, 2004 onwards, there was a stage during that period because of personal commitments. I wasn't getting to many games, to be honest with you. There was a time when, so perhaps I lost a little bit of the knowledge anyway. But I do, even though I've been for many years now on the trot, I forget things happened 5 years ago that I can remember back from the 70s. That might be an age thing. It might be. I've never had the greatest memory. Anyway, so I know that from personal exams, etc. Over my as a teenager and an adult, I've always had to swat extra hard and just about scrape through things because I don't have a very photographic memory, that's for sure. Anyway, this little quiz is based on this book, so 15 questions, 18 points up for grabs. So it's mainly just 1 point questions, just for a bit of fun. If you're new to the channel, please push the subscribe button, tell your friends, tell the City fans. I've done a couple of quizzes that, other football fans would be quite interested in as well anyway. So, just please spread the word. It'd be fantastic. Push the bell notifications when these little Citizen vlogs are coming out. These quiz specials, and obviously we're doing a lot of City history things at the moment, so City back in time. So please, if you push the bell notification, we get to know about them. And if you have any thumbs ups, great. I mean, it's great to have, only takes you a split second, just press that thumb up. It's nice to be appreciated. And, even one, and comments, I get some great comments, obviously, and nice comments. And occasionally I do something wrong. I do say something wrong. I do have, perhaps there was one with, I was on Twitter or Facebook and I posted a picture of Peter Barnes in a West Brom kit. And obviously, I commented that it was West Ham by mistake. I mean, I meant West Brom, but obviously people pick up on these. You did mean such and such a thing, which is fair enough. At least people are watching. It doesn't matter if you're getting told off, isn't it? But say at my age, if I do make mistakes, please forgive me. It's just my age. I probably know the answer. I'm just not very coherent. So anyway, here we go. The 50 greatest Etihad Stadium moments. Let's start with the first one. Let's start with question 1. They're not in any sort of year order because they counted down from 50 to 1 in this book. I bet you can guess what number 1 is anyway, but I won't be touching upon that one today. Anyway, the first one's an image. I've got a picture of Mr. Joey Barton kneeling down, and I just have to cover something up so you don't see it. And he's obviously, I'll say a little bit more about it when we've done the quiz, but obviously who's the City player knighting Joey Barton on that picture? It's a great image. I actually saw it on TV the other day. It was replayed for something. So that's Joey Barton getting knighted. Who's knighting him? Name the player. See, this is where I forgot the name of this player. Show me a player from the 60s. I'll give you his name 99 times out of 100, but modern players, I forget, even our City players. That was question 1. Who was that? Who was that knighting? I mean, I could have named Joey Barton, but it's the other guy that's the problem, obviously. There's a very famous game in 2012. I remember going to this, and it's the worst game I've seen. It was snowfall. There was a lot of snowfall in the game. And it was terrible. I mean, the game nearly got called off for one reason or the other. But, I mean, it's obviously gone down as one of the greatest moments. There's an image from the game. Obviously, all the snow with Sergio Aguero there. So, what game was it? Who were we playing in that game? It's back in 2012, February 2012. Who were we playing? I mean, you're not going to get an extra point if you know the score, but what team did we play in that game where it very nearly was abandoned at the Etihad? These are all Etihad things, so obviously if you've been going back to 2012. Who did we play in that game with the big snowstorm? Quite stands out in memory, that one. It certainly stands out in my memory. That was question 2. Question 3. I think you should probably get this one. Just make sure there's no clue in the wording of it. The wonderful, fantastic Mr. One Assist Balotelli posing after this goal here behind the net. What was significant in that goal he scored? Why is he posing as though he's won the World Cup? What was significant about the goal? Just for 1 point. Question 3. We're playing Norwich. You can see Norwich kit and Norwich playing about that. So no points for that. Just what was significant about the goal? Question 3. Question 4, and they say you can do this you can pause it if you want to have a think and things, don't worry about it, or you can do it in real time as I'm asking the questions. So, question 4. Fantastic. Nigel de Jong celebrating his first goal for Manchester City and his only goal in league football. But who did he score it against? That was back in 2011, May 2011. So Nigel de Jong scored more than one goal for City, but he only scored one goal in the league. Who did he score against? Question 4. Question 5. Certain team. It's about an opposition player. This very significant opposition player. You'll probably remember this. At the time, when obviously you'll know this guy. I have to make sure I don't give you too much away. But we played a team called Red Bull Salzburg. But who was this? Who was this bloke? Something significant about that bloke playing for Red Bull back in 2010. So an opposition player. What was his name? Question 6. Should know one of these. There's 2 points for this one. 1 point should be quite easy. It's the second point. You have a wonderful image here of a City player celebrating a goal against Spurs in a bit of a thrashing that day. So name me the City player. Who scored in that game quite early, and which goalkeeper was playing for Tottenham that day? Who was Tottenham's goalkeeper? I know you'll get him all right, this guy here, but will we get Tottenham's goalkeeper? I wouldn't have got it. This one, you're going to have to know the year. So you have to have your thinking cap on this one. 2 points up for grabs again. What team did it, Mal? Who did City play in this game? But quite significant. There's a bit of a chat on the pitch during the game at half time. They didn't go to the changing room, so that's the easy part, perhaps. Who's the team, and you can tell probably by the colours anyway. But what date was it? I want the actual date. It was quite a significant date. It's not just any date plucked out. It was quite a significant date. So obviously, you saw the incident with the manager. I'll tell you, it's Mr. Phil Brown. So who was he managing? What team is it? Which you should be able to tell off the kit. But what date was it? I mean, I'll let you. It was back in 2008. So what was significant about the date? Poor bugger sat on the pitch like that, which is wasn't summer, put it that way. So what do you think? What date was it? So the team and the date, you should get one easy point. The other one you might know, you might not. Right, a couple of City players here. I want the names of both of these City players. Again, another one I would have really. Whoops, don't want to give you the answer. Do I? Another one I would have really struggled on. So who are the two players? This is back in 2005. This one against Liverpool, the game. So who are the two players for 2 points? Right, we've got two players again. I just want one player's name because the other one player's got his name on his shirt, so you know who that is. The wonderful Mr. Boyata. But who's celebrating with Mr. Boyata back in 2011? Should get that, shouldn't you? Mr. Boyata, Dedrick. But who's celebrating with Dedrick? On to question 10. This is one I had no idea whatsoever. I mean, totally unknown to me. Make sure I cover his name up because it does show it. Again, so we're going back to 2009. Name the City player. And I want both names, not his full name, not just his surname. What's his well, two names. He might have a middle name, but what was he known as? First name and second name. 2009. And the first game I went to at the Etihad, which will give you a clue. First game at the Etihad. But can you name the player from the opposition team? First game, all right. It wasn't, well, I suppose it was competitive, but it was obviously the first, the opening of the Etihad Stadium back in 2003. Name the player. And another one I have no idea about. You probably do better than me. You should score better than me on that. I did say I'll give you my score at the end, but it was terrible. So again, we're going back to 2007 now. So, can you name the player? May as well been Joe Bloggs as far as I know. I just don't remember at all. 2007 wasn't a time I could get to many games. It was not a great time personally, so it is something I probably wouldn't have known. Not just because I was there and forgot, but just because I probably didn't see this guy play very often, to be honest with you. Or did anyone? Question 13. I'm looking for some. Obviously, we all remember the wonderful manager and his talents. Well, there's an incident here. We got two goalies on the pitch playing at the same time. Back in 2005, the wonderful Mr. Pearce's decision, Stuart Pearce. But who were we playing? I mean, we all remember the incident. Which team were we playing that day? When Mr. James came, when we got a sub goalie on, James went up front. Who were we playing? That was back in 2005. And another name, the player. (2003). What's this player's name? Definitely see that. I definitely saw this guy play. Great kit. First advice. And question 15. Again, name the player. Even I knew this one. This is back to 2008. Even I knew this one. Who's that gentleman? first signing for one of our managers. And a little bit of money came into the club, obviously. So name the player. There you go. So that's just 1 point as well. Probably the easiest because even I got that one right. So that was quite easy. Right, we'll go through these. I'll take these paper clips off that are ruining me books and ruining me programs every time I do it. Right, the first one, obviously the player, knighting Joey Barton, of course. Bernardo Carradi. So that was City 3, Fulham 1, that game. Great image. I say it was. I caught it on TV the other day, so give yourself a point if you said Bernardo Carradi. Who was that? So that was against Fulham. Oh, so there you go. Surprisingly enough, the next game, and I remember the groundsman coming on with the shovels to clear the lines around the goal, the areas, so you could see the lines. It was so close to being called off, and that was against Fulham as well. That was in February 2012. City 3, Fulham 0. But yeah, that was quite a memorable game. Just for them to say, it's a close. I mean, I've been to games that have been called off through bad weather with rain, etc. But that's the close. And I've been to one that's called off because of fog at Main Road. I think went to two that were called off for rain at Main Road, and I went to one that was called off for fog. And obviously, but that was the closest one for snow. I think I don't remember another game getting called off for snow. Give yourself a point if you said Fulham on that. And of course, Mr. Balotelli, it was against Norwich City, 5-1 win. And obviously he scored with his shoulder, didn't he? Remember, very, his little shoulder, which perhaps some referees might have said handball and cancelled the goal. But I mean, I think it was 4-1 at the time, was it? I think it was all over anyway. But yes, the significance was he scored it with his shoulder. And the next one, of course, the wonderful Nigel de Jong. When de Jong goes sliding in. It was against West Ham United. He did score a goal in a cup game as well, I think. I think he scored against Liverpool, I think, from memory. I'm probably in here somewhere. No, it's not actually. I think he may have been Liverpool anyway. That was his first and only league goal for City against West Ham United. So if you said West Ham United, give yourself a point for that. Of course, a Red Bull Salzburg player. I mean, we can never forget Alan, can we? It's good. That's typical games where the City fans' humour really comes out, isn't it? Them sort of games like the Hulk is another one, isn't it? I don't know if this is it. Don't think that's in here. I'm not sure. I don't think so. The Hulk, was it before 2015-16? Oh, I don't say it's a while back. I'm sure it might be in here. I didn't go through it all, but that was another incredible moment, wasn't it? With the Incredible Hulk, pardon the pun. So yes, Alan. If you said Alan for that one, question 5, give yourself a point. And of course, you can't forget, obviously, Jesus Navas, of course. But the goalkeeper, I forgot he'd been there that long. It was obviously Lloris was the goalkeeper for Spurs, Hugo Lloris, which I just for some reason thought it was quite a recent acquisition. So Jesus Navas and Lloris, so you get 2 points if you got both them. And of course, the Phil Brown team talk. Obviously, you probably got Hull City, didn't you? But it was Boxing Day. It was a significant date, 26th. So it wasn't the warmest of days to be sat on the pitch getting a bit of a rollicking and a talking to, was it? It was actually on Boxing Day 2008. So give yourself 2 points if you got both of those. And the next was the two players. And I'll be honest with you, I may have got Kiki. I may have got Musampa, but I'm not. I would have totally forgot Lee Croft, to be honest with you. So obviously Kiki, Musampa, and Lee Croft there. So I would have probably struggled on that one. And that was the City 1, Liverpool 0, 9th of April 2005. Some things never change. And of course, even easy. This one, even I got this one. Obviously, the guy celebrating with Boyata. It's obviously our wonderful, fantastic Micah Richards, whichever way you say it. That was a City 1-0 win over Reading back in March 2011. The great is, if you've got not seen this booklet or you've put it away and never read it, it's just great. Just look back at the games and information on the games and percentage possession, etc. Stuff, all the statistics for it. The shots on target. It's a bit like what we do with the my City vlogs and stuff like that. So it's really good if you've never what's never actually looked at this book, or perhaps someone's selling it on. Obviously there's at least 30,000-40,000 of them out there, isn't there, for all the season cards? So they wouldn't be hard to get hold of. Glauber Bertie is the name of this guy. I did not have a clue. From 2009. City 1, Bolton 0. That was his significant game. Glauber Bertie had become something of a City cult hero. Could the record unused subs for 21 times, I think, get his chance in his last game? And obviously he came on for 5 or 10 minutes, didn't he, at the end of the game? So that was, of course, Glauber Bertie. And again, 2009, which wasn't one of my most prolific watching City seasons around that time. So I hadn't been dragged in because of the money. I had other problems. So obviously it was nice to get the money, wasn't it, in 2008? But obviously it didn't. None of it filtered down to me, unfortunately, to allow me to be going and doing various things. Of course, back to 2003. I mean, obviously Ronaldinho, of course, playing for Barcelona. Enjoyed that. We beat them, didn't we? Yeah, 2-1. We beat Barcelona on the 10th of August 2003. So give yourself a point if you got that. And name the player a derby winner. I mean, I should know. I mean, if a City player scores in a derby, it should be etched in our minds. Perhaps not so much nowadays, but certainly in those days. And it was, of course, Giovanni, wasn't it, in 2007. City 1, United 0, August 2007. But as I said, 2007, not my most memorable time those years, personally, anyway. For City, it was interesting times, wasn't it? It was just perhaps, before the start of something good, and it was, it's always good following City, isn't it? I shouldn't say things like that. It's always, no matter what, through the lows and the highs, it's always been good. It's been a privilege. And of course, the game where we end up with 2 goalkeepers on the pitch, one playing up front, of course, was City 1, Middlesbrough 1, when we're trying to go for the win. And obviously, was it European qualification? Yeah, to get to Europe. So obviously, it was Middlesbrough. If you said Middlesbrough, give yourself a point for that. And the last 2, name the player. Again, this is the wonderful David Samay. Is that how you pronounce it, Samay? That great kit. So I missed out on that kit. I don't know why I didn't have that one at the time. I did have a couple of. I got a couple of the first advice kits, but I didn't have that one. David Samay, you named the player. 2003. If you got that, give yourself a point. And the last one we had, obviously, I think all of us, pretty much got this one, didn't we? Well, then again, I mean, perhaps some of the younger fans might have missed it. Obviously, we're talking 2008. Obviously, we're talking the Robinho. Obviously, they're talking about that fantastic goal. I think the free kick. I think even though we got beat 3-1 by Chelsea, it was just superb, wasn't it? Fantastic. But obviously, the things didn't really come to fruition, did they? Obviously, but that was the first real big purchase, wasn't it, by Mark Hughes, I think, at the time. Anyway, that's 15 questions. I hope you enjoyed that. I bet you did better than me. So out of 18 points, don't forget the 3 of the questions were worth 2 points. So you want to know what I got? Well, I got a pretty pathetic 10. I got a 10 out of 18, which isn't great, is it? I mean, that's absolutely useless. But as I said, I remember doing a quiz on some of the guys' vlog a few months back now. And for some reason, he kept asking me questions about 2007, 2008. And it was just around about that time, I just couldn't go to many games. I was obviously personal reasons. I just wasn't getting there. There's 3 or 4 seasons where I just couldn't get to many games. And I sort of, because I couldn't get to the games, I tried to turn off a little bit. I'm very much one of these, I can't listen on a radio or anything like that. I have to watch a game. I can't do various things. So if I'm not watching City, I have to just turn off a little bit. Because it just gets me down a little bit. So I do have a lack of knowledge of those, even though, I do all these history things and whatever. I hold my hands up. I do, everyone's got personal commitments in life that change their I've always loved City, but changed their availability to go and watch City sometimes. If you leave a normal life, these things happen, with children and work commitments, etc. So, yeah, so it was funny. He asked me quiz questions on those times, and I did struggle. I virtually got everything else right from the 1900s up to recently, but there was just like 3 or 4 years where so a lot of his questions were around that time. I think it's when he was born, actually. He was only a young lad asking me these quiz questions. And I think it was around about, so for some reason, he came up with about 25, 30 questions, like 6 or 7 of them were about this time period, and I just had to guess and got him wrong. So, yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that anyway. And I said, if you should have beat 10, because that was pretty naff. I reckon if you get more than 10, that's okay. I would imagine a lot of you probably get 13, 14 or more. I might be wrong. I don't know. 10 might be a good score, but if you get 5, it doesn't matter, does it? At the end of the day, so, you don't study the things like I should do better, because I look at these things all the time and enjoy it. But anyway, let me know what you get. Let me go, and don't be embarrassed. You could do it on Twitter. I won't broadcast it to anybody else what you got. So let me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at nostalgia_movie. If you enjoy movies and obviously these quiet times, I do little vlogs on movies and TV dramas, etc. So please check out my Twitter on at nostalgia_movie. Everything movie, games, and Manchester City is always on there. And I'm also on Bernard Deneen at Charles Deneen on Twitter as well. I do a lot of City stuff on there. And I'm on Facebook at Bernard Deneen, with links to movieGameNostalgia.com. If you're into old rare DVDs, posters from the 90s, 2000s, and board games. So if you're into anything like that, just have a little wander on to movieGameNostalgia.com. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Much appreciated. Well, I'll be back with something else soon. I hope you're all looking after yourselves. As I always say, look after yourself, look after your friends, look after your family, but obviously try and keep an eye out for the vulnerable as well. Let's all stick together and help each other out at this time. And that's Joe Public. That's anyone on the street. I mean, there's a woman struggling the other day to carry some bags home from shopping, and I did offer, but obviously, big ugly guy like me, she's a little bit affronted by it. I just asked how far she was going, and if I could help her. She probably thought I was going to run off with the bags, But do I look that type of person? I don't know, but you do try. You can only ask, can't you? You can only try and do your best, and obviously, obviously it backfires sometimes, doesn't it? But that's life, isn't it? That's life. So yeah, keep an eye out for people. Try and help people in these times, and give all the other city vloggers and podcasters your support as well. They're trying to put a lot more stuff out there, as what I'm doing every day, whether I'm doing a movie thing or city or board game or a poster special. I always try and put at least one vlog or video out there. So please check in. If you push that bell notification, you'll get notifications, and just see what the title is, what it's about. If you're not interested, it doesn't matter, but at least it's there if you want to have a quick watch. And some go on a bit longer like this, and just under half an hour. Some things are between 5 and 10 minutes. So please support the other guys and give me a watch as well, and that'll be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Whatever you're going to do this day, have a great one, and I will see you all again hopefully very, very soon, all healthy and well. Bird is saying goodbye for now.